Dear students, today's video is on the connectors that we can use for opposite idea in IELTS speaking and writing exam. Last week I did a video on the connectors that can be used for the same idea. You can see this video on my YouTube channel Excellence the Ideal Class. It is video number 3. Now coming back to this video, which is for the opposite ideas. Look at the first 3 connectors: while, whiles, whereas. They are used to introduce an opposite idea. For example, the cities are quite noisy while villages are quite peaceful, to say the opposite thing. The next connectors, on the contrary, in contrast to this, whilst conversely, by contrast, they also perform the same function. For example, the sale of company A increased, on the contrary, or you can also say whilst conversely, that of B decreased. So when you have to say the opposite thing. The next 2 connectors, nonetheless, nevertheless, they are used when you want to say the opposite of something that you have mentioned just now. For example, you are writing an essay on the advantages and disadvantages of online shopping. You have finished writing the advantages. Now you want to write the disadvantages. So you can start your paragraph like this: nevertheless, there are downsides too, which means disadvantages of what you have disadvantages, as you have just mentioned the advantages in the previous paragraph. Downsides also means disadvantages of something. The next 2 connectors, comparatively, relatively, they have same meaning. For example, it is relatively hotter today. Then there are some easy connectors that you can see on the screen. On the other hand, however, yet, but. But I'd like to give you an example of yet. For example, she made a number of mistakes, yet her parents forgave her. Or, it was raining very heavily, yet I went to the class. Now you can take some time to read these connectors and recall what I have just told you about these connectors and their right and proper usage. Moving on to the next connectors in comparison to, as opposed to. For example, the cities are more polluted in comparison to the villages. And then let us say you are writing a graph about the study choices of men and women. And you have to write 60% women opted for master's degree, and then you want to write about men, as opposed to 20% men who did the same course. Dear students, it is very important to use right connectors in your speaking and writing exam, because they help you to link your ideas, bring connectivity, which is very important to bring clarity in what you are saying or what you are writing. Not only connectors, but other vocabulary words as well. And you should always use the right method of learning a new vocabulary word. Whenever you come across a new vocabulary word, first of all, go and check its meaning either in Cambridge or Oxford dictionary, and see whether it is a noun or an adverb, so that you understand the function it performs in a sentence and you use it rightly. Secondly, you should check its meaning. Thirdly, read some sentences so that you learn to use that word in a right way. And fourthly, check its pronunciation as well. Not just use a word that you have heard or read somewhere, but you are not clear about its meaning. Because maximum mistakes students make in speaking and writing are related to vocabulary only, especially when they do this to impress the examiner. Use a difficult word in a sentence where it is not needed, and then what happens is there is no sense, the sentence loses its clarity and its meaning, and examiners can easily make out whether you are using natural or unnatural expressions in your writing. So be very careful and be very sure about the words that you are using in your speaking and writing. Not only write vocabulary but grammar as well. And in case you want to prepare well for your IELTS exam, you can join my class. I have given my contact number. You can even subscribe my channel Excellence the Ideal Class, or follow me on Facebook and Instagram page, where you will find useful content for IELTS preparation. I hope you find this video useful and informative and have got some clarity about the usage of these connectors and not make mistakes again. All the very best for your exam preparation.